Hello, and welcome to Sleepy Nourishment. I'm really glad you found your way here tonight. Maybe today was long, or maybe you're someone who likes to let the mind wander, following quiet thoughts and gentle rhythms instead of forcing yourself to fall asleep. Either way, this moment is just for you. You don't need to do anything at all. Simply rest. Let your breathing slow down. Let your shoulders soften and allow your body to feel a little lighter, as if gravity itself has decided to be kind tonight. Because this evening, we are not here to rush. We are here to drift. And as we move gently through this journey, whether you are awake or already halfway into sleep, you are still part of these natural rhythms. Everything continues, softly, slowly. May this be a calm space for you to rest, and I'll be here with you. Today we're not going to talk about food in a rushed or technical way. Instead, we'll slowly drift through gentle facts, soft, comforting pieces of knowledge about two simple breakfast favorites: pancakes and waffles. Warm, familiar, and quietly joyful. We'll explore how pancakes became a symbol of slow mornings, how waffles hold warmth in their little golden pockets, and how these humble foods have followed families through centuries of shared breakfasts. This isn't about recipes. There's nothing to remember, nothing to prepare. Just lie down, let your shoulders soften, and allow your breathing to slow. Listen to this voice and let each gentle fact move like warm syrup slowly and smoothly through your thoughts. And in the end, return to the warmth of family. A Sunday morning breakfast, the rich smell of butter in the air and the sweet comfort. Long before modern kitchens existed, the ancient Greeks were already making pancakes. They cooked simple batter on flat heated pans and called them tagenias, a word that simply meant something cooked in a pan. There were no measurements, no recipes written down, just grain water and fire. These early pancakes were humble, quiet meals shared at sunrise. In a way, every pancake made today still carries that same beginning. Simple ingredients, slow heat, and a peaceful moment before the day begins. The first written pancake recipe appeared in an English cookbook in the 15th century. It wasn't fancy. Just flour, eggs, and milk mixed by hand and cooked over open flames. Back then, recipes were more like gentle suggestions than strict instructions. You learned by watching, by listening, by feeling the batter change. These early cookbooks remind us that pancakes were never about perfection. They were about nourishment, warmth, and taking a pause in a much slower world. Waffles trace their roots to medieval Belgium and France. They began as thin cakes pressed between two heavy iron plates and cooked directly over fire. The word waffle comes from an old term meaning honeycomb or web. These early waffles were not sweet. They were simple, plain, made to be shared. In cold stone kitchens, the warmth of a waffle iron was as comforting as the food itself. The earliest waffle molds were made of thick iron with long wooden handles. 2 plates, a hinge, fire beneath. They were heavy, slow to heat, and required patience. Cooks would turn them carefully, feeling the weight, listening to the quiet sizzle. Making waffles was a rhythm: open, pour, close, wait. A slow, mindful process that made breakfast feel almost ceremonial. Those familiar square patterns on waffles were never just decoration. They were designed to hold warmth, to catch melting butter, to cradle syrup so it wouldn't run away. Each little pocket was intentional, a small space meant for comfort. Even today, those grids invite us to slow down, to fill each space gently, and enjoy breakfast one quiet bite at a time. In many parts of the world, there is a tradition called Shrove Tuesday, often known as Pancake Day. It began as a practical idea. Before a season of fasting, people used up rich ingredients like eggs, milk, and butter by making pancakes. What started as necessity became celebration. Pancakes turned into symbols of warmth, before restraint, comfort, before simplicity, and one last slow meal before time moved on. In the 1790s, Thomas Jefferson returned from France with a love for waffles. He even sent a waffle recipe back to America. Waffles soon became a quiet luxury, something special, not rushed. They carried with them European morning's iron molds and the idea that breakfast could be more than fuel. It could be an experience. Before the 19th century, pancakes were thin and dense. Then came baking powder. This simple invention allowed pancakes to rise gently without yeast or long waiting times. Suddenly, pancakes became softer, lighter, almost cloud-like. This small chemical change reshaped breakfast forever, turning pancakes into the tender comfort food we recognize today. Long before syrup came in bottles, indigenous peoples of North America were collecting maple sap. They learned how to boil it down slowly, turning tree sap into something warm and sweet. Maple syrup wasn't just flavor. It was energy, tradition, patience. Every drop carried the quiet rhythm of forests, cold mornings, and time measured in seasons. In 1964, Belgian waffles were introduced to America at the World's Fair. They were thicker, lighter, and deeper pocketed than anything people had tasted before. Crisp on the outside, soft within. They felt special, festive, and yet still comforting. A reminder that even something new can feel familiar when it's warm, simple, and shared. The word pancake first appeared in English around the 15th century. It was simple and honest. A cake made in a pan. No poetry, no decoration. Just a name that told the truth. Over time, the word stayed even as kitchens changed. Today, when we say pancake, we're using a word that has traveled quietly through centuries of mornings, spoken softly from one generation to the next. In England, pancake races have existed for over 500 years. People run down the street holding a frying pan, flipping a pancake as they go. It began as a playful way to use up ingredients before Lent. But more than that, it became joy, laughter, movement, community. A reminder that food history is not only written in books, sometimes it's written in footsteps, smiles, and shared tradition. Waffle House opened its doors in 1955 and never closed them. 24 hours a day, every day. It became a place of late nights, early mornings, and quiet conversations. Waffles there are not fancy. They are steady, hot plates, warm lights, familiar smells. Sometimes history isn't about centuries, it's about showing up again and again when people need comfort the most. In ancient Rome, people made sweet pancakes called alita dolcia. They mixed eggs, milk, and honey, then cooked the batter slowly. These early pancakes were served as treats, not daily food. Sweetness was rare. Honey was precious. Eating them meant celebration. Even then, pancakes were connected to moments of pause, a small luxury in a busy world. Almost every culture has its own version of a pancake. Thin crepes in France, blini in Eastern Europe, savory pancakes in Asia. Different names, different shapes. But the idea is the same. A simple batter, a hot surface, a shared moment. Across the world, pancakes quietly remind us that comfort food speaks a universal language, soft, warm, and familiar. In 1918, General Electric released one of the first electric waffle irons. No open fire, no turning by hand, just heat steady and controlled. This changed mornings. Waffles became easier, safer, more common. Technology didn't take away the comfort, it simply made it accessible. A small machine helping families create warmth with the flip of a switch. The largest pancake ever made weighed more than 3 tons. It was cooked in 1994 using special equipment and careful timing. Huge, round, almost unreal. But at its heart, it was still just a pancake. Flour, eggs, heat. A gentle reminder that even the simplest foods can grow into legends without losing their humble beginnings. Before baking powder existed, people had creative solutions. In some cold regions, fresh snow was added to batter. Snow contained traces of ammonia, which helped pancakes rise slightly. It was unpredictable, temporary, seasonal. Cooking depended on nature. These early methods tied pancakes closely to weather timing and patience, things we've mostly forgotten in modern kitchens. In medieval times, Waffle irons were often engraved. Family crests, religious symbols, simple patterns. Each waffle carried an image pressed gently into dough. Food became storytelling. Breakfast held meaning beyond taste. Every waffle was a quiet message shared without words spoken through heat iron and time. Potato pancakes, also known as latkes, are a traditional food during Hanukkah. They are fried in oil, a symbol of light and endurance. Crispy edges, soft centers. Latkes remind us that pancakes don't need flour to bring comfort. They only need warmth, shared history, and a reason to gather around the table together. The moment cold batter touches a hot pan, there is a soft sizzle. Not loud, not sharp. Just a gentle sound that quietly wakes the morning. It's often the first noise in a still kitchen, before voices, before footsteps. That sound tells you the pan is ready, the day is beginning, and something warm is on its way. For many people, that soft sizzle feels like an invitation to slow down. As butter melts and browns, its aroma changes. Sweet, nutty, deep. Brown butter releases scents similar to toasted nuts and warm caramel. It fills the kitchen without asking for attention. You don't rush toward it, it simply finds you. That smell carries comfort, memory, and anticipation. It's one of those quiet fragrances that makes time feel softer and mornings feel safer. The golden brown surface of a pancake signals readiness. Our brains respond instantly to that color. Warm browns and soft golds are associated with safety, warmth, and nourishment. Before the first bite, the eyes already feel satisfied. That gentle color shift from pale cream to warm amber happens quickly. And yet we wait. Because those few seconds make all the difference between raw and perfect. When a fork presses into a stack of pancakes, there is almost no resistance. The knife glides through as if cutting a warm cloud. That softness isn't just texture, it's emotional. Soft foods signal comfort. They ask nothing from us. No crunch, no effort. Just gentle pressure and release. It's one of the reasons pancakes feel so soothing. They meet you exactly where you are. Waffles offer contrast. Crisp edges, soft centers. The first bite crackles slightly, then melts. This combination keeps the senses engaged without overwhelming them. The sound is subtle. The texture is balanced. It's satisfying without being loud. Waffles remind us that comfort doesn't need to be boring. It can be layered, gentle, and still interesting. There is something calming about watching syrup flow slowly into the pockets of a waffle. It moves with patience. No rush, no resistance. The syrup follows gravity, filling each square carefully. It's a small, quiet pleasure, one that requires nothing from you except attention. For a moment, time slows to the pace of syrup, thick, warm, and unhurried. Maple syrup changes with temperature. When it's warm, it flows more easily, spreading quickly across the surface. When it's cold, it moves slowly, almost hesitating. This simple change adds to the experience. Warm syrup feels generous. Cold syrup feels deliberate. Both invite you to notice, to pause, to feel how heat softens not just food, but moments. Fresh pancakes release steam as they rest on the plate. That steam carries faint scents of vanilla sugar and gentle browning. It rises quietly, disappearing almost immediately. You don't chase it. You just breathe it in. Steam signals warmth, freshness, and care. It's a reminder that the food is alive with heat and meant to be enjoyed slowly. Forks and knives touching ceramic plates create soft, familiar sounds. A light tap, a gentle scrape. Nothing sharp, nothing rushed. These sounds form the background music of an unhurried breakfast. They tell your body there is no emergency, no hurry. Just movement, eating, and being present at the table. Pancake batter doesn't need to be perfectly smooth. Small lumps are welcome. As the batter cooks, those lumps dissolve on their own, leaving softness behind. Overmixing creates tension. Gentle stirring allows rest. This is a quiet lesson. Not everything needs fixing, not everything needs control. Sometimes letting things be slightly imperfect leads to better results in pancakes and in mornings. A non-stick pan feels almost like glass when it's properly heated. The surface is calm, quiet. When batter touches it, there is no struggle, only release. The pancake spreads gently, finding its shape on its own. This smoothness removes effort both for the cook and the mind. Nothing sticks, nothing resists. It's one less thing to worry about on a slow morning. Holding a plate of fresh pancakes warms your palms immediately. The heat travels slowly from ceramic to skin to muscles. It's grounding. That warmth signals safety to the nervous system. Cold hands relax, shoulders drop. For a moment you are fully present, holding something warm, simple, and made with care. Butter brings salt. Syrup brings sweetness. Together they create balance. Salt sharpens sweetness. Sweetness softens salt. This contrast keeps the taste gentle, never overwhelming. Your brain responds calmly without shock or tension. It's one reason pancakes feel satisfying without feeling heavy. A quiet conversation between flavors, each making the other feel complete. When blueberries are folded into pancake batter, they soften as they heat. Inside, the berries warm and expand. Then, a gentle burst. Not loud, just a release. They leave behind soft purple streaks, tiny pockets of sweetness. Each bite is slightly different. This unpredictability adds joy without chaos. A reminder that small surprises can still feel safe. A fresh waffle is at its crispiest right out of the iron. Air meets heat, creating a delicate crunch. But waffles are sensitive. As they sit, they absorb moisture from the air. Slowly they soften. This brief window of crispness makes waffles feel special, a moment meant to be enjoyed right now, without delay. The smell of pancakes doesn't stay in the kitchen. It drifts down hallways, under doors, into quiet rooms. It wakes people gently without alarm. No ringing, no calling, just scent. It's one of the few smells that can wake someone and still feel kind. A soft invitation to join the morning. The lightness of pancakes depends on trapped air. Whipped egg whites hold tiny bubbles inside the batter. As heat rises, those bubbles expand. The pancake lifts slowly, softly. This quiet expansion creates tenderness, not force, not pressure, just space. And sometimes space is all softness needs. As pancakes cook, small bubbles rise to the surface. They appear quietly one by one. This is the batter speaking. The bubbles say, "I'm ready." It's a lesson in patience, waiting for a clear sign instead of rushing. Flip too early and the pancake tears. Wait just long enough and everything holds together. The color of a pancake can change very quickly. One moment pale and soft, the next golden and ready. Those final seconds require attention, not tension, just presence. Cooking pancakes teaches timing, being alert without stress. It's a calm focus that pulls you gently into the now. Sunday mornings often feel quieter. There are fewer plans, less noise. When the smell of pancakes fills the air, that quiet deepens. Time stretches. The kitchen becomes a pause, a space where nothing needs to happen next. Just warmth, just stillness, just the slow comfort of a morning allowed to be lazy. As pancakes cook, something quiet and beautiful happens. A natural process called the Maillard reaction begins. Sugars and proteins meet heat and slowly change. They create golden color. They create warmth in flavor. This reaction is not rushed. It takes time, steady heat, and patience. It's the reason pancakes smell comforting, not just sweet. A gentle reminder that transformation often happens slowly and without noise. Baking powder is a quiet helper. Inside it, acids and bases rest together, waiting. When liquid touches them, they awaken. When heat arrives, they awaken again. Each awakening releases tiny bubbles of carbon dioxide. These bubbles lift the batter from within. No effort, no force. Just chemistry doing its work, softly expanding space inside the pancake. Some baking powders are called double acting. They work twice, once when mixed and again when heated. This creates a slow, steady rise, not all at once. The pancake lifts gently, layer by layer. This balance prevents collapse and keeps the texture tender. In many ways, it mirrors rest. Small support at the start, followed by deeper support later. Nothing sudden, nothing overwhelming. Buttermilk is slightly acidic. When it meets baking soda, they react quietly. Tiny bubbles form. This reaction helps pancakes rise and soften. Buttermilk also adds a gentle tang, subtle, not sharp. It balances sweetness, bringing calm to the flavor. Acidity here is not harsh, it's supportive. A reminder that contrast, when gentle, creates harmony. Gluten forms when flour meets liquid and movement. It gives structure, but too much tension makes pancakes tough. That's why batter needs rest. A few minutes allows gluten strands to relax. The batter softens. The pancake becomes tender. This pause is important. Even ingredients need time to let go. Rest is not laziness, it's part of the process. When batter is mixed, too much gluten tightens. The pancake becomes dense, almost rubbery. Overmixing adds stress. Gentle stirring keeps things loose. This is a quiet lesson. Effort doesn't always help. Sometimes doing less creates better results. Let the batter be imperfect. Trust the heat to finish the work. Softness often comes from restraint. When egg whites are whipped, they trap air. Tiny bubbles are held inside delicate protein walls. As pancakes cook, those bubbles expand. The structure sets around them. This creates lightness. Not fluffiness from chemicals, but from movement and patience. Egg whites act like gentle scaffolding, holding space, then stepping back. A quiet kind of support. Butter and egg yolks contain fat. Fat coats flour particles, shortening gluten strands. This creates tenderness. In baking, this is called the shortening effect. Fat doesn't lift pancakes, it softens them. It smooths edges. It slows moisture loss. Comfort often works this way, not by lifting us up, but by making things feel less sharp. Sugar does more than add sweetness. It attracts water and holds on to it. This keeps pancakes moist longer. Without sugar, pancakes dry out quickly. With it, they stay soft. Sugar also helps browning, working quietly with heat. It's a stabilizer, a reminder that small amounts of sweetness can preserve comfort over time. Waffles have more surface area than pancakes. All those small pockets allow steam to escape. Less trapped moisture means more crispness. Heat moves evenly. Air flows freely. That's why waffles crunch while pancakes stay soft. Two textures from the same ingredients. It's chemistry creating choice different experiences from the same beginning. Sometimes variety is simply space arranged differently. Maple syrup begins as clear tree sap. It's collected slowly, drop by drop from maple trees. Then it's gently boiled, allowing water to evaporate and sweetness to concentrate. Inside that syrup are small amounts of minerals like zinc and manganese. Nothing loud, nothing intense, just nature reduced patiently into warmth. Every pour of syrup carries the quiet rhythm of seasons changing. The ideal pancake pan sits around 375 degrees Fahrenheit. At this temperature, the batter sets gently. Too cool, and the pancake absorbs oil, becoming heavy. Too hot, and the outside burns before the inside wakes up. The right heat feels calm, steady. Cooking pancakes is less about speed and more about balance, finding the place where nothing rushes and nothing resists. Heat moves from the pan into the batter slowly. It firms the edges first, then travels inward. If the pan is too hot, the outside hardens too quickly. If it's too cool, the structure never sets properly. Pancakes teach timing, not control, not force, just awareness. Watching, waiting, letting heat do what it knows how to do without interruption. Salt may seem small, but it matters. It strengthens proteins in eggs and flour. This creates structure, not stiffness. Salt also sharpens flavor, making sweetness clearer. Without salt, everything feels flat. With it, flavors feel awake. Salt doesn't dominate, it supports. A quiet ingredient that brings balance without asking to be noticed. When pancake batter heats up, starch granules absorb water. They swell, soften, and then set. This process is called gelatinization. It's what turns liquid batter into solid pancake. The change is gradual. No sudden shift, just warmth guiding structure. Like many things in life, form appears when conditions are right, not before. Milk adds lactose, a natural sugar. Lactose helps the pancake brown, even at gentle temperatures. It works quietly with heat supporting color and flavor. Milk also adds moisture, keeping the crumb tender. Without milk, pancakes feel drier. With it, they feel complete. Milk doesn't demand attention. It blends in, doing its work in the background. Vanilla is delicate. Its aroma evaporates easily when exposed to heat. That's why it's best added near the end of mixing. This preserves its scent, soft, warm, familiar. Vanilla doesn't shout. it lingers. In pancakes, it creates comfort before the first bite. A smell that feels like home, even when you don't know why. Butter melts beautifully, but it burns easily. Its smoke point is low. To prevent burning, many cooks mix butter with a neutral oil. This raises the heat tolerance while keeping flavor. It's cooperation. Two fats working together to create balance. In chemistry and in kitchens, partnership often makes things gentler. As pancakes cook, water inside the batter turns into steam. Steam expands, pushing outward. This creates tiny air pockets that lighten the structure. Nothing explosive, just gentle pressure. When the pancake sets, those spaces remain. Lightness comes from release, not force. Steam lifts quietly, then disappears, leaving softness behind. The thickness of batter shapes the pancake. Thin batter spreads wide, creating delicate pancakes. Thick batter stays close, making tall, fluffy ones. Neither is better, just different. Thickness is choice, a small adjustment that changes experience. In pancakes, as in rest, there's no single right form, only what feels most comforting in the moment. For many people, pancakes are tied to childhood. Weekend mornings, no alarms, no rush, just the sound of a pan and familiar voices in the kitchen. These memories stay stored quietly in the body. Years later, the smell of pancakes can bring them back instantly, a sense of safety, care, and being looked after. Pancakes often feel comforting, not because of taste alone, but because they remind us of slower times when someone else took care of everything. Flipping a pancake looks simple, but it requires confidence. A quick movement of the wrist, smooth and committed. Hesitation causes folding. Too much force causes chaos. The best flip comes from trust. You don't overthink it. You just move. It's a small lesson in life. Sometimes gentle confidence works better than careful doubt. The first pancake is almost never perfect. The pan is still adjusting. The heat isn't settled. Many cooks call it the test pancake. They eat it themselves quietly. This small ritual removes pressure. It allows imperfection right at the beginning. A reminder that warming up is part of the process and that not everything needs to be shared or judged. Belgian waffles are often served with strawberries and cream. American waffles are paired with bacon or eggs. Different places, different habits. Food adapts to culture and rhythm. What stays the same is the feeling: warm plates, shared tables, unhurried bites. Traditions don't need rules. They only need repetition and people who enjoy showing up. Chicken and waffles may seem unusual at first. Crispy, savory, sweet. But this combination became a classic in the southern United States. The contrast works because balance works. warm waffle, crunchy chicken, soft syrup. Comfort doesn't have to be simple, it just has to feel right when everything comes together. Stacking pancakes isn't just for looks. The pancakes on top trap heat for the ones below. Warmth is shared downward. Each layer protects the next. This simple act keeps breakfast warm while everyone sits down. There's something comforting about that stack soft layers resting together, waiting patiently to be enjoyed. Some people cut pancakes into small pieces before adding syrup. Others pour first. Cutting first creates order. Each piece receives just enough sweetness. It's a habit of care preparing comfort in advance. This small routine can feel calming, especially in the morning. Order brings ease, preparation brings rest. Even simple habits can quiet the mind. With waffles, some people pour syrup into each individual pocket. Square by square, slow, intentional. It's not about efficiency, it's about attention. Filling empty spaces can feel satisfying. It turns breakfast into a small ritual, one that requires focus but not effort. A gentle task that anchors you to the moment. Pancake batter can be prepared the night before. This turns the morning into something easier. No measuring, no mixing, just heat and pouring. Planning ahead creates calm. It allows mornings to begin gently, with less thinking and more resting. A small gift from your past self to your present one. A waffle iron needs time to heat fully. Rushing leads to sticking. Waiting leads to release. Preheating creates trust. When the iron is ready, the batter behaves. The waffle cooks evenly without struggle. This waiting period teaches patience. Some things can't be forced. They need warmth first before they're ready to take shape. When a waffle is cooking, it needs privacy. Opening the waffle iron too early releases heat and steam. The waffle tears, the structure breaks. Waiting keeps everything intact. The iron stays closed, heat stays steady, the waffle sets calmly. This moment teaches restraint. Some things need time alone before they're ready to be seen. Pancake art uses colored batter to draw images on the pan. Cartoon faces, animals, simple shapes. It requires patience and slow movement. The art cooks as it's created, no erasing, no rushing. Pancake art turns breakfast into play. It reminds us that creativity doesn't need pressure, just warmth, time, and curiosity. Sometimes people eat pancakes at night. This is called breakfast for dinner. There are no rules against it. Warm food in the evening feels grounding. It softens the edges of the day. Pancakes don't ask questions. They welcome you no matter the hour. Comfort foods often work best when expectations are dropped and pleasure is allowed. Butter spreads best when it's soft. Leaving butter at room temperature allows it to melt gently into pancakes. No tearing, no resistance. Soft butter moves easily, like it belongs there. This small detail creates ease. Preparation removes friction. When things are ready, everything feels calmer, even breakfast. Watching bubbles rise on pancake batter is a quiet practice. It teaches observation, noticing change without interference. Each bubble appears when it's ready. Flip too soon and the pancake struggles. Wait patiently and it releases easily. Sometimes the best action is waiting and trusting signs when they arrive. An ice cream scoop creates evenly sized pancakes. Each portion matches the next. This brings visual calm to the plate. Uniformity feels orderly. It reduces decision-making. Small tools can simplify routines. And simple routines reduce mental noise, especially in the morning when the mind is still waking. Frozen waffles were invented for convenience. They can be heated quickly without preparation. For busy mornings, they provide comfort without effort. Even frozen waffles carry familiarity. The texture changes. The ritual remains. They remind us that nourishment doesn't always require time. Sometimes it just requires warmth. In Sweden, pancakes are often served with lingonberry jam. The jam is sweet with a gentle sourness. This contrast wakes the palate without overwhelming it. Different cultures shape pancakes differently, but the intention stays the same: to create balance, comfort, and a reason to sit a little longer at the table. Cast iron pans are often washed with hot water only. No soap. This preserves their natural non-stick surface. Caring for cast iron is slow work. Drying, oiling, waiting. In return, the pan lasts for generations. Some tools reward patience with loyalty. After a pancake breakfast, many people feel sleepy. The body is warm. The stomach is full. Blood flows toward digestion. This gentle heaviness invites rest. A short nap often follows unplanned welcome. It's the body saying it feels safe enough to slow down. Sometimes rest comes naturally when comfort has already arrived. Pancakes are rich in carbohydrates. When your body digests them, your brain releases serotonin, a chemical linked to calm and comfort. Serotonin helps soften thoughts. It slows mental noise. That's why after a warm breakfast, the world can feel quieter. Nothing urgent, nothing sharp. Just a gentle sense that things are okay. Food doesn't just feed the body, it signals safety to the mind. A warm, nourishing breakfast gently wakes the body's metabolism. Energy systems turn on slowly, without shock. This steady beginning helps the body feel balanced throughout the day. No sudden spikes, no rushing. Pancakes offer fuel in a friendly form, easy to digest, easy to accept. The body responds best when it's invited, not forced to wake up. Comfort foods can lower cortisol, the stress hormone. Warmth, familiarity, and softness signal relief. The body relaxes its guard. Muscles loosen. Breathing deepens. Pancakes often work not because they are special, but because they are known. Known foods feel safe. And safety is the first step toward rest. Sweet flavors activate the brain's reward system. Not intensely, but gently. Syrup doesn't demand attention. It offers satisfaction. This small pleasure creates contentment. Enough, but not too much. The brain responds with a soft sense of reward, a feeling of "that's nice." And that feeling makes it easier to slow down. Warm breakfasts are easier on digestion than cold foods. Heat relaxes the digestive tract, allowing food to move smoothly. The body doesn't struggle. This creates comfort from the inside out. Pancakes are warm, soft, and gentle. They ask the stomach to work quietly, not urgently. And quiet digestion often leads to a quieter mind. Butter contains fat, which helps absorb fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. These nutrients support vision, bones, and immune health. Fat also slows digestion, creating fullness that lasts. This steady satisfaction prevents sharp hunger later. Comfort isn't just emotional, it's physical balance. When the body feels nourished, it relaxes its constant searching for more. Soft foods often match soft emotional states. Pancakes don't require chewing effort. They yield easily. This gentleness mirrors a desire to be cared for. The body notices texture as much as taste. Soft textures signal safety. They allow the nervous system to lower its defenses. Sometimes we don't want stimulation, we want reassurance. Vanilla has been shown to reduce anxiety. Its scent is warm, round, and familiar. When you smell vanilla, the brain associates it with comfort and sweetness. This connection is subtle. It doesn't excite, it soothes. That's why vanilla appears so often in calming foods. It whispers relaxation instead of announcing it. Sharing breakfast strengthens emotional bonds. Eating together slows the pace. Conversation softens. Presence increases. The body releases oxytocin, the connection hormone. This creates trust and emotional safety. A shared pancake breakfast isn't about food alone. It's about belonging. And belonging is deeply restful to the human nervous system. After a heavy carbohydrate meal, blood flows toward digestion. The brain receives less stimulation. This creates a pleasant drowsiness, often called a food coma. It's not exhaustion, it's surrender. the body saying, "You can rest now." This gentle sleepiness is natural, and when welcomed, it often leads to the deepest, sweetest rest. The warm golden color of pancakes and waffles affects mood. Soft yellows and browns are linked to optimism and comfort. The brain reads these colors as safe and nourishing. Before you even take a bite, your body relaxes slightly. Color speaks quietly to the nervous system. It reassures you without words everything here is gentle and nothing needs to be rushed. Eggs and milk add protein to pancakes. Protein slows the rise of blood sugar. This prevents sharp energy spikes and sudden crashes. Instead, energy spreads evenly. The body feels steady. Balanced energy creates emotional calm. When blood sugar is stable, the mind wanders less. Focus softens. Rest becomes easier. Sometimes feeling peaceful is simply a matter of balance inside the body. A late breakfast or brunch allows the body to wake naturally. Sleeping in supports hormone balance and nervous system repair. Brunch removes pressure. There is no rush to start the day. Pancakes fit this rhythm perfectly, unhurried, warm, forgiving. They meet the body where it is instead of demanding immediate energy. Pancakes are simple to make. No complicated steps, no precision stress. This simplicity reduces mental load for the cook. Hands move, mind rests. Cooking becomes rhythmic. When tasks are easy, the brain relaxes. There is space for calm thoughts or no thoughts at all. Simple food often creates the quietest mornings. The repeated actions of pancake making, pour, wait, flip, form a soothing rhythm. Repetition tells the brain that nothing unexpected is happening. This predictability reduces anxiety. The body settles. Each pancake follows the last steady and familiar. Routine becomes rest. In a world full of noise, simple repetition can feel like a soft anchor. When butter melts into a warm pancake, the texture becomes smooth. The mouth experiences gentle pressure, not resistance. This activates soft sensory pleasure. There is no crunch to alert, no sharpness to wake, just warmth and slow melting. This sensation encourages relaxation. The body mirrors what the mouth feels. Glucose from carbohydrates is the brain's main fuel. A steady supply supports calm thinking. Without enough glucose, the brain becomes restless. Pancakes provide energy without strain. The brain feels supported, not overstimulated. When fuel is stable, thoughts slow naturally, and slowing thoughts often leads directly to rest. A warm kitchen filled with baking smells feels like shelter. Outside, the world can be loud and demanding. Inside, everything softens. The kitchen becomes a safe place. Pancakes turn space into comfort. They transform a room into refuge. This sense of protection allows the nervous system to release tension it's been holding all day. Taking time to prepare a warm meal is an act of self-care. It tells the body I matter. This message calms deep emotional layers. Self-care doesn't have to be grand. Sometimes it's just pancakes made slowly, eaten warmly, without guilt. These small acts build trust between body and mind. After a lazy Sunday morning with a full belly, sleep arrives easily. The body is relaxed. The mind is unguarded. Nothing is waiting. Pancakes, warmth, and time together create a perfect landing. And finally, the deepest sleep often comes after comfort, not after exhaustion. Rest feels earned, gentle, and welcome. We've just traveled through hundreds of gentle facts, from ancient wheat fields, through quiet city streets, and into warm kitchens filled with the soft scent of butter and milk. Science isn't always dry or distant. Sometimes it's the sound of a crust gently cracking, the warmth of fresh food, or syrup flowing slowly across a plate. I hope you found a sense of calm in these small, familiar moments. If your eyelids feel heavy now, this is your sign to rest. And if you'd like to continue this slow, comforting journey, you're welcome to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment about the food that brings you the most peace. Sleep well, and may your dreams be as sweet and gentle as maple syrup.